Hey, I'm Alexander and this channel is dedicated to honest and comprehensive reviews of headphones, IEMs, decks and amps. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to receive new video updates. The headphones for today's episode were provided by ONEODIO in exchange for my honest review. Thank you, ONEODIO. I'm not paid to say anything in particular about this product, and all thoughts and opinions in today's episode are my own. Monitor 80 is a professional over-ear open-back headphones and they usually retail for $99 US. By the way, I have included a discount code in the description of this video that will give you an additional 20% off when you purchase Monitor 80. The headphones arrive in a quite massive box. On the front of the box we have an illustration of the headphones, on the back of the box we have a list of technical specifications. In the box we have Monitor 80 headphones, EVA carrying case, 2 detachable cables and a manual. Regarding technical specifications, the headphones use 40mm drivers, impedance is 250 ohms and sensitivity is 100 dB. This means this pair needs some juice and will require a source with a powerful headphone output to really shine. The headphones weigh 300 grams without cable. Now let's talk about design and build. Despite having a foldable design and a carrying case, Monitor 80 are clearly intended for stationary use. The build is mostly plastic and this is a bit disappointing. The headband on the other hand is made out of metal and is covered with pleather. The headband is quite wide and distributes the headphone's weight quite well. The adjustment mechanism on the headband looks good and plastic swivel joints are reinforced with metal. Swivels connect to ear cups at 45-degree offset angle, which is a smart idea that prevents ear cups from flipping down. Besides tilting vertically, the earpads also rotate 90 degrees horizontally in both directions, and when folded inwards, they make the headphones more portable. The left ear cup has a 3.5mm connector and the right ear cup has 6.3mm connectors. The earpads are massive and round in shape and they are made of velour. The outer diameter of earpads is 100mm and the diameter of the cut is 55mm. The velour used in the earpads is quite stiff but still very nice to touch. The headphones are also foldable, and when they fold, the outer part of the first ear cup rests on the velour ear pad of the second one, which prevents it from scratching. Overall build quality is good for this price range, and the only thing that I did not like that the swivels make a lot of squeaking noise. Now let's talk about fit and comfort. The headphones weigh 300 grams without cable and are quite comfortable. As they have a wide headband, it sits on the head quite well. Clamping force is above average, but it's enough to provide seal and fit. The earpads are quite deep, velour is a bit stiff for my personal liking, but they still provide a very comfortable fit for your ears. Despite living in a hot climate, the earpads didn't run hot, which is a big advantage for me. I have been using this pair for extended periods of time and I didn't experience any discomfort or fatigue. The only thing I noticed that after a couple of hours I started feeling some pressure from headband. Now let's talk about cable and use cases. The Monitor 80 comes with 2 cables and like other ONEODIO model, it has a very thought out cable system. The coiled cable is 1.5 meters long and it has 3.5mm connector on one end and 6.3mm on another end. The second cable is a straight one and it has 3.5mm connectors on both sides. The headphones have both 3.5mm and 6.3mm sockets, which gives you a lot of connection flexibility. For example, you can connect the coiled cable with 6.3mm end to headphones and with 3.5mm end to your DAP. At the same time, you can just flip over the same cable and connect the 3.5mm end to your headphones and connect 6.3mm end to your professional mixer or receiver, for example. In addition, the system allows you to connect the second pair of headphones to Monitor 80. But remember that this changes impedance and depending on your source, it can also change the overall sound. Now let's talk about sound. Please note that all the sound impressions that I'm sharing on my channel are completely subjective, so please take them with a grain of salt. The headphones are quite neutral and lean sounding, but at the same time this pair is not very analytical. The Monitor 80 headphones were designed for studio work, but they are great for casual listening too. Low frequencies are full, fast and quite punchy. You can actually feel the impact from pretty much any genre of music, which is important when you are working in a studio. Mid-bass is more prominent than sub-bass here, it's tight and has good energy, and there's a minimal bass bleed into mids, which is really good. Sub-bass has a good extension and depth, but it still rolls off a little bit early for my liking. The headphones have surprisingly solid, well-controlled and energetic bass for its price range, and the bass also has a good depth and clarity, not to be lost in the overall mix. Overall, I am pleasantly surprised with low frequencies on this pair. Now let's talk about mid-range. The mids are just a bit recessed and I'd personally prefer a little bit more forward mids. On the other hand, they have a good level of details and surprising layering for this price category. The lower mids are natural and enjoyable, but they lack a bit of note weight. Upper mids, in my opinion, are a little bit boosted, and while they sound more forward, on some tracks they sounded too bright for my liking. The timbre of instruments is quite organic, and I won't complain here as both vocals and instruments sound vibrant and alive on this pair. But I need to mention that on some tracks female vocals are lacking in details and they're a little bit harsh. Overall, I think mid-range here could use just a little bit of more details, note weight and energy. Treble extension is good and it has some energy, it has quite a good clarity, but it's still a bit soft and smooth, lacking some details and sparkle. I wouldn't say the treble is wailed, but I wouldn't call it neutral or neutral bright too. As I mentioned, treble details are okay, but micro details retrieval are below average. This tuning is not fatiguing or sibilant at all, but with some tracks and high volumes, the treble does have some edge. At the same time, on moderate volumes, the treble is still present and stands well in the mix. From the casual listening perspective, I myself would prefer more air and sparkle in the treble to balance the full sounding low end. But from a sound engineering perspective, I think that due to this tuning, these headphones won't be tiring during long listening sessions. Now let's talk about Soundstage and imaging. Despite being an open back headphones, the size of the Monitor 80 Soundstage is average. It's more deep than wide, but it still sounds quite spacious and creates quite a realistic audio performance, where the music sounds slightly out of your head. The instrument separation is great for this price range and the placement of instrument is also correct. Details are just fine, but micro details are below average. The timbre is accurate and layering is on par with many pairs in this price range. Overall, I liked the soundstage and presentation on Monitor 80, but it doesn't punch much above its class. Let's summarize. Monitor 80 are quite neutral and lean sounding headphones. They were designed for studio work, but they are great for casual listening too. Pros: good comfort, well thought out cable system, neutral and lean sounding, making them a good entry-level studio pair. They have detailed and energetic bass, and the headphones have foldable design, which is a plus. Cons: headphones are squeaking and build feels a little bit cheap. Not the best resolving treble, and the mid-range could use just a little bit of more weight and details. While it lacks some technical performance, Monitor 80 is definitely an upgrade over other models from ONEODIO. It has quite detailed and full bass, vibrant mids and a smooth treble, and it's good to see that with each next pair from ONEODIO we're seeing an improvement in sound quality. But take into consideration that the headphones require some juice to run, and while it sounded okay with my FIO DEP, plugging them into my desktop stack really made this pair shine. Overall, I think that if you are looking for a budget pair of open back headphones, the Monitor 80 is a good place to start, and you should definitely have this pair on your list. Alright guys, that's all from me for today, and I hope that you enjoyed this review. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to receive new video updates. See you in the next video. Goodbye.